All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to do today something that's been really focused on my mind lately. As we prepare for summer, I got a lot of people and a lot of patients coming to me to ask what's the best sunscreen? Reminding people, basically a lot of the vid is reminding people that you should be using sunscreen, and sort of how do you, I don't know, we're gonna go on a whole because I'm completely redesigning my sunscreen regimen. So I thought we would talk a little bit about that, but more from a physician standpoint and not necessarily from just here's what I use or here's the holistic approach to this kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, you need to have sunscreen. You don't want to burn. You don't want skin cancer. So it's very important to make sure that you're doing all of that. So I got some tips and tricks from my dermatologist and some of my dermatology colleagues. And we're gonna go to Walmart because that's where it's the cheapest, because I'm still on a resident budget, and try to figure out sort of what is gonna be the best, or what are some things that were problematic to me that my patients were asking about that I can sort of help to sort out. So we'll do a quick minute, sort of my story and sort of what I've seen and found, and then we will go pick out some stuff. So the first thing is that it really is important to use an everyday sunscreen. The American Academy of Dermatology recommends a daily sunscreen, SPF 30 or higher, 30 to 50 really, every single day to any sun-exposed area of the skin to help prevent skin cancer later in life. I completely agree with all of that. I don't do it myself, but that's what we're here for today. Is we're going to start doing a daily SPF 30, especially moving to Las Vegas. I'm going to have to get in the habit, get in the process of that, where the UV index is a lot higher. Today is only about a 4 in Akron. I think Las Vegas is a 10 or 11 right now, so definitely very high UV index in the cities with a lot more sun, and these people are just ignoring traffic laws today. And so it's important to get in the habit. The first thing you got to do, first thing that the dermatologist recommended is wide brimmed hat. So that's going to be the best thing that's going to help protect face from sun exposure. Especially for me, because I got a huge forehead and my hairline is running away from me, so I got a lot of area where I burn, and it's mainly up in the top. So wide brim hat, 3 to 4 inch brim all the way around, is going to be best. I bought one at a flea market for $3, and I took it with me to the most recent time when I went to Vegas to look for a house. And if any time that I have the Jeep taken apart, I've started wearing that, and it really does 360-degree protection. It's wonderful. The other one is the daily sunscreen SPF 30 or higher. I was using this, I brought it with me because I want to take a look at it. The Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sheer Touch 55. I put that on my face because I loved it. I love it. I love this product. It is lightweight. It's lightweight. It's 55, so it provides great sun protection. My issue though is that I sweat a lot. Both with physical activity and just from being hot. So I would be standing out in the sun, or anything really, and I sweat. I sweat like crazy. So what I'm noticing more and more with this, I haven't decided if it's just because the tube is probably a year old or not, but for me it's sweat right off. And because I wear a lot of black, my sunscreen had ruined a couple of my shirts just from the drainage or the leaking, or if I dab my sweat and then touch my shirt without figuring it out, it was getting everywhere. So I need to look into something different for that. So I went back to my dermatology colleagues and my dermatologist, and I was like, what do I do for these patients who are avid runners, avid hikers, people who are doing a lot of outdoor physical activity? How do we get them protected and keep the stuff from falling off? Do we find that these sport derivatives seem to work a lot better than the ones that are not sport? There really isn't any benefit to the sport ones. It really is just finding one that's gonna do that, that's going to stick to your skin. The thing that I always forget about was the first thing the dermatologist recommended was using a stick sunscreen for the areas where you sweat a lot, because again, it has a wax base, so it tends to go on where you want it and stay where you want it without a lot of alteration based on sweating. So that's what we're going to go look at today for the face. Also going to look into a little bit of a daily sunscreen too, because I should be wearing a 30 every day, or at least get into the habit of it while I'm here before I get to the area of the country where it is going to be very important. Copper Tone Sport SPF 50 lotion for my body. But again, because I wear a lot of black, and the inside of the Jeep is black, and the rental car in Las Vegas had some black on it. I noticed that literally, like, anywhere I touched, or when I'm, you know, sitting here to gear shift or something like that, like, it leaves a film, and it was leaving a film on the rental car, it was leaving a film here, and so it was gross. So then I went back to, for the other recommendations, and I was like, well, maybe you get a spray, because the sprays are lighter weight, and they don't have that, you know, lotion feel to them or anything like that, and those are not recommended by any of the dermatologists that I've talked to. They do not cover the full area that you want, and you have to reapply them more frequently than you would with some of the lotions or some of the other stuff. So that was not recommended for overall body protection. You really got to get a good sun lotion to get it on your body. And the key to everything is going to be reapplication. So the other thing, so then I thought about that, and then they recommended the zinc oxide derivatives of the sunscreens. So Neutrogena makes a zinc oxide sunscreen as well that dermatologists recommended to give a shot because of the minerals and the composition of it. It's not as heavy, and it doesn't drip as much. I have, you know, read some literature and read some reports and things that it actually feels really heavy on the face, and it may be better for body protection. So that's something we can give a look at or a try to as well. Again, this is not a Neutrogena sponsored video. No, I mean, nobody sponsors me. There is no Neutrogena, I have no stake in Neutrogena or anything like that, but it really does, at the end of the day, when you sit down and look at data, and you sit down and you look at, you know, dermatology recommendations and physician recommendations, Neutrogena really is the best sunscreen that is out there. I didn't even go to my dermatologist asking for her recommendations for sunscreen, and she was like, Neutrogena is where it's going to be at. So I got a couple of things that we're going to get. We're going to look into a stick, we're going to look into a zinc, and we're going to look into a daily sunscreen as well. And when we get there, we will just look at all the different options that are out there, and we'll get a better idea of what may be good. All right, so I'll see you when we get there. All right, so sunscreen aisle. We have got so many options. So many options. So kind of wanted to do like what were the couple of things that were pointed out to me as what you should get. So a couple of things that were recommended to me and that I think would be the best. So a couple of different sticks. So trying to decide. Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Face and Body Stick. There's also a generic version, looks like, for $4 cheaper. I don't know. Then the Beach Defense was the other one, 50 plus. And the last one that I really wanted to look at was the Cool Dry Sport. So, 3. All right, so now we'll take a look at all the 3 individual sticks and see what I think. So first we'll do the one that I would have defaulted to, Neutrogena Ultra Sheer SPF 70 stick. See, this one, this one smells too much like sunscreen. So would I wear this every day? Probably not, no. But I guess at the beach, will it stay on? I don't know. But I don't know, beach, hiking, things like that, just because I sweat a lot. Then we'll do the Beach Defense one, SPF 50 plus, same thing, sort of. It's whiter, it smells less like sunscreen, but more like tropical coconut. So, I mean, at the beach, it probably could be good, water and sun protection. And the last one we had was the one that I really wanted to try, the Neutrogena Cool Dry Sport Stick. So that one is the least smelly of the group. That one doesn't smell like anything. Glides on pretty well. I guess I could do that with all of them too. And then the Sport Stick one, or the Beach Defense one, that was okay. And what about the 70? Screw there. See, this one's out for me. It's too heavy. It smells too much like sunscreen, and it's probably just gonna drip. I think this is the one we're gonna go with, just because it smells the least. It's what I was interested in the most. It's designed to be sport. Again, I don't know if that means anything, but it was the most recommended. by the dermatologist was to get a Neutrogena Sport Stick. Or not a sport, it was to get a Neutrogena Stick Sunscreen. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we're gonna make sure it's the Cool Dry Sport derivative. It's the one I was most interested in. If I don't like it, this is gonna be the number 2, just because I trust everything about Neutrogena. So, I guess we'll see. All right, now let's look for the next product. Okay, the other thing that was recommended that I don't see here, actually, I wanted to look at the Neutrogena Zinc one. Neutrogena Pure and Free Baby, maybe? Okay, so that's a good one. Neutrogena Pure and Free Baby, just because I can't see. SPF 50, you can see it has got the zinc oxide in it, which is the physical barrier to the sunscreen, not the chemical barrier. Some people it's important to do that. I don't think there's any like data showing that one is better over the other. The other one, so then I guess the equivalent would be this Neutrogena PF Zinc SPF 50. Fragrance-free, tear-free, water-resistant, dermatology recommended. So it has zinc oxide 21.6% in it, which is an option. And the other one that I had heard for the zinc barrier is the Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection Lotion, the zinc oxide 21.6% sunscreen. So I guess at the end of the day, it's gonna be which one costs, for me, it's gonna be which one costs less. So 30 ounce zinc oxide, that one is $10.97, Neutrogena is $10.97. So I guess either way, for my daily one, 3 ounces. So I guess it's gonna be the same. So then I guess it just comes back to who is going to be your loyalty. My loyalty, unfortunately, is to Neutrogena because they've never steered me wrong. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try the Pure and Baby. I guess we can also smell it and see if it smells like freaking baby or if it smells like sunscreen. And then we'll compare it to the Aveeno Baby. So let's do that real quick. All right, so first up, we'll do the Neutrogena Pure Baby Zinc Oxide, 21.6%. Let me get down. It really doesn't smell like anything, to be honest. So this may be a good option. Let's see about, so just a little bit. We'll just do it, I guess, on the back of my hand. We'll do it this way for you. So there's a light feel. It's not very heavy, it doesn't smell like anything. Okay. What's the other one? So the other one's the Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection SPF 50 Zinc Oxide, 21.6%. Again, doesn't really smell like much, which is good. So a little dollop here. We'll do it on the other hand. I don't know. So they literally both smell the exact same. So I guess I have to go to brand loyalty. So we'll do Neutrogena. Okay? Alright, so really what I want to look for is going to be a Neutrogena either Sport active like lotion for the body, or I want to do a Neutrogena, so Neutrogena Beach Defense. I think this is what I'm going to try next, just because I don't know, that's what I'm thinking I want to do, but I want a 50, I don't want a 70, and I don't want a 30. So let's go walk to the other section and let's see if they have it in their display. 70, 70, 30, 30. 30. So I don't know. So then I guess we're gonna go with the 70 because I would rather have more than not. Okay, so that's what we'll get. Do you have the Neutrogena Cool Dry Sport lotion at the 50? Alright, so first, Neutrogena the Sport SPF 50. Alright, so I don't know, kind of liquidy, kind of not, but Goes on clear. Doesn't smell too much like sunscreen. That one's starting to smell like sunscreen a little bit though. What about this one? Yes. That one smells a little better. I literally have no idea which one to try. It's just gonna, then it has to probably be a cost-saving analysis thing. So we'll probably just do, we'll do the Beach Defense SPF 70. All right, I wish I had a better explanation for it. Ingredients-wise, I guess that's what's gonna make the difference. They're both chemical barrier protectants. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about this one though for a little bit. I don't even really need sunscreen right now. I'm not doing anything active in the next like couple of months, but it's something I wanted to have on hand if I did do something a little bit more active. So I may actually go with this one. Let's just keep it in the sports derivative. I've always had good luck with GAT on my body. If I don't like it, we can always come back and do the Beach Defense. So this is what I'm going to go with. Fort SPF 50 broad spectrum with Helioplex. And we will give it a try and we'll see kind of how that goes. Alright, so at the end of the day, we walked away with 3. We'll do the Neutrogena Sport SPF 50 for the body. If I go out in the sun with the body, we're going to do the Neutrogena Sport Stick for the face, just because I sweat so much. And my dermatologist recommended getting a stick sunscreen from Neutrogena, so that's what I'm going to get. I also think it's the best. It smells the least like sunscreen. It's the easiest to apply, and we'll go from there. And but just based on brand loyalty, active ingredients-wise, we're going to do the Neutrogena SPF 50 Pure and Free Baby for the daily sunscreen that we're going to start doing to protect myself from the skin, to keep myself ready to go before I get out to Las Vegas, so I can start getting in the routine and start protecting my skin. So that was that.